the sound for about 3 of the last 3/8 notes. And then start to diminuendo. A little glissando here I think is fine. Nice. And you have to figure out different ways to make the sound interesting for you. Right now, what I think is I want a fast vibrato, a light flautando sound. And the plan then would be for the triple piano to have the same light sound but maybe even higher on the fingerboard and not quite as fast and shimmery a vibrato. A little more tired maybe. So here. And I'm not sure how much tone quality comes across on this microphone, but this is very different. The next section is piano, so this sound is very different because it's very floating. My arm is very suspended, holding the bow, so it's barely touching the strings. I like to do one time on the D string, so. This close to the nut, but that actually fits into the sound character very well, I Keep the sound pale here. Now immediately we need a more warm sound, more rich sound. Accent needs to have, I like just a little bit, I don't want to say noise in the bow, but it should not be too legato. And I think, I haven't checked the score lately, I believe the score does not have an accent on this second G. The other times I think it usually does. At the tip much harder, and we're already, I shouldn't really crescendo too soon, so a little swell here, come back a little bit, but still stronger of course than the first measure. This is a sequence, so start the note, but then obviously for those who have heard me teach about keeping your bow straight, you have to get special sounds and change the sound. You have to do some things that are not just plain straight bow. So first you learn how to bow straight as a student, and then you can do all these other exciting things. I don't want to accent, I'm looking at the iPad because I can see my bow very well, so I don't want to accent too close to the bridge for a hard sound. But then I want to sustain the sound, so then I do move closer to the bridge for that. And again, as I go up, I'm crescendoing, so I want more closer to the bridge for that. Breathless, a little more anticipatory. And it's a bit backwards, but because I like to end the last on an up bow, I like to start it on an up bow. So I can just hold the bow to get ready for the triple piano. So I start this as well. I don't do Mr. Rose's bowing. Again, to get that not an accent, a very strong fortissimo that then you fall back from always. Time on the G string, but not rich and hearty, but a bit hollow sounding. And on this C, listen for the A flat in the cellos and basses, the left hand of the piano. So that changes the color. It's a bit warmer sound, not the C minor, but this A flat major now. Just to accompany the clarinet, piano. Sempre pianissimo means no crescendo. I didn't think through this bowing very carefully, but I got too close to the frog, so because I really do not want to be at the frog for this theme. I want very quite flautando, but again, it's not going to be the same mood or character as this theme has at the end of the piece. A very light bow, almost, you can't quite see because of the angle. I'm actually below the fingerboard, but quite close to it, about there, not here. So quite a bit of bow on this. Probably a bit of a, well, better to shift than to stretch. As you can see, that wasn't too well in tune. So start that again. Four is a little better. I don't want to really, slide up too much. Even a light one. That's okay, but then I'm going to do that. So fourth finger is a little less slide here. And since I'm trying to do specific bowings and fingerings, not to confuse the students, I'll look at the music and see what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was looking at the original bowings there, but I think to keep the bow flowing and with a very floating sound, I will break those slurs, which are not in the bowings I sent out tonight. So beautiful open A. Not sure how much beauty gets captured by the iPad sound, but then here, then I get a bit more core to the sound. No more fluff flautando here. And not I could just stretch, but I want a little bit more dragging down. And that can be harmonic, of course. Oh, I missed a bowing there. Here's an optional bowing if the student can make this better to go up to the C string and just play a harmonic also, so you don't have to really find it. For that stronger sound. But if not, if it's doubtful, better to be safe. Then simple, just know what fingering you're doing. Oh yes, and as my teacher David Sawyer said, I think I did play this for him, just give a little accent on the start of each one. And make the difference between. Much more interesting to hear the note changes. The G, D, G. You're not going to really impress any of us who listen to it if you have a bunch of noise there, so don't do that. But then the scale, slow bow, concentrated bow. I think I even do it in one bow. What are the notes? And maybe this is the most intense and kind of sobbing, so quite wide vibrato, and I like to drag the third finger down also. Difficult. So if you're looking at the music, you know that I broke the so because we're going from quarter notes, then eighth notes one to a bow. And I'm using more than half the bow, about 2/3 of the bow. So if you immediately go to not even quarters on the bow, but 2 half notes, the sound will really, you can't sustain it except by squeezing, which I do not recommend. Then it's a longer bow, you can't do anything about that. Then you do innuendo on the up bow. I do slur this one because I like to do down bow, so quite slow but still quite wide vibrato. This is not flautando, but a very light bow on the C string. Then slow bow. Only bow sound. I'm not going to treat you to the entire 2 measures. Trust me that I can do long bows. So I said a different sound here. This one is after the height of the intensity of the emotion that the audience that you go through at that fortissimo statement of the theme. Now we have the inversion of the second theme, but a very kind of pale, tired out, worn out version. And yeah, I am really playing over the fingerboard here, just to show you on the video instead of here where I was playing before. Just these little technical things that, if it helps you to figure out how to play with there's no point in playing this music if you can't get a lot of tone colors out of it, and that's why I want my students to really explore the tone colors to bring the expression of this music out. So. And when I go to the D string, that was exaggerated, and also I'm at kind of a funny angle with the iPad, but I want a slightly more warm sound here. Perform this piece in a couple, 20 years or something. So if I practice it more, maybe I'll do a different fingering. Right now I have this 1-1-1. Obviously you don't want all the, not like that. This is not the moment for that in this music. Just a quick but smooth slide here, and a little bit of pressure in the bow to make it sound cleaner. Now it's, there was a diminuendo in the previous bar, and now it's really triple piano. You can see I'm not really over the fingerboard for this, because I'm actually using such a fast bow. I don't want to get any whistling. These next 2 or 3 B naturals, I think, are very intense. So, and then I let the sound float away. As you can see my bow traveling up. This whole thing has been with a lot of, this is another thing, very kind of vague rhythm, and there's a lot of French music that does this, but usually they're imitating Spanish music when they do that, or like Saint-Saëns and Ravel with Habanera, Cuban, kind of swaying in the breeze rhythm. A lot of contrast between 2s and 3s, 1 and 1, 2, 3, 1, this kind of thing. So, but here he has, there's nothing really Spanish about this to my ears. But he has this very kind of loose and free and vague rhythm with the syncopations, which are nothing like American music syncopations, but very languid feeling. And the triplets. Then finally back off the syncopations to the syncopations just to end. And I don't know, with piano, piano can play pretty softly here, but I've played this with orchestra, and you have to give some chord to the sound for this long C. Exactly has to be heard, but it's got to be felt. The depth of sound.